Stay tuned for Mount Vernon Moving Forward with Mount Vernon Mayor Richard Thomas on 1460 WVOX.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm Mayor Richard Thomas. You're listening to Mount Vernon Moving Forward. We're here every Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. You're listening to 1460 on your AM dial or worldwide on WVOX.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/Mayor Richard Thomas. Now, today is a pre-recorded show. We are here in Mount Vernon early morning at Retro 520, the new place to eat, the new place to come and greet your friends, a new place to be with your family to make sure that you get a great start on your day. Got a great guest, the owner, Phil DeRaffele. Family has been in the business of building diners for generations. And we're going to talk to him in one moment, but I just want to give you a quick rundown of what's going on in your town. This weekend we have the Shift Masters Auto Show right here on Gramerton Avenue between Birch and Grand Street. It's going to be a great event. Please come out, bring your friends, bring your family. We're going to get you more details on that later on in the show, but just know that we're going to have hundreds of cars, hundreds of people, thousands of smiles, new memories created, and guess what? You're going to be able to get some great food, great eats right here on Gramerton Avenue. Get ready to have some fun. We also have a bunch of things going on in the city. We have basketball camp that's about to end, but it's going to turn into the Basketball Classic. That's right. We're going to have a basketball league start for various ages, from ages 5 to 8, ages 10 to 12, and then ages 13 to 15. All different leagues playing basketball. The league is free. It's going to start. Practice is going to start on August 6th, which is next week. So sign your child up today and get ready to see them come out and play. The young people will be playing based on what the design of the program is in the mornings from 9 to 10 a.m. And then the kids that are a little bit older will be playing in the early evenings. And we have a couple of locations where the kids will play basketball. Hartley Park will be one location. Graham School, we anticipate being another location. That way the courts get lower. And then we also have a few other locations, be it Mount Vernon High School, but also 4th Street Park. So everybody get ready. It's going to be fun. New classic, basketball classic to get our kids competing throughout the school year and the summer. But also it sets us up for, more youth sports in the city. But while you are watching your children play sports, you need, nourishment. You need to make sure that after the game you come to refuel. And I know, pretty few places in Mount Vernon. This is one good one. Retro 520 just opened up. Oftenly referred to as the old Athena's, but man, has it come back to life with Phil DeRaffele and his vision to make this place magnificent. So Phil, gotta say thank you so much for choosing Mount Vernon and choosing this location. And just want to, as we get started to start bringing more life to the city, I mean, you've picked a great place to bring life back to. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of the city.
And thank you for having me.
And, look, can you talk a bit about, your selection process? This place was, look, everybody loves this place, this location. And everybody has fond memories of creating memories where we're sitting. Can you just talk a little bit about, what helped you get the confidence in Mount Vernon as a market?
Sure. Well, I grew up in Westchester, specifically Nurse Shell. My family is 4 generations of building diners. They started out probably in the 40s and 50s doing the old railroad-style diners.
Wow, that's great.
My great-grandfather, Angelo, and my grandfather, Phil DeRaffele, continued it, and then down the line.
Nice.
So I have a background with diners, and a couple years ago, I became interested in actually running a diner. With all my experience, I'm in and out of diners all the time, throughout the tri-state area, all over the East Coast. So, I got an opportunity to purchase the Pleasantville Diner about 3 years ago, and it's a small diner, 30 tables, in a nice neighborhood in Pleasantville, mid Westchester County.
Yep.
And I fell in love with the business, and I kind of ideas I had from going to all the different diners and what works, what doesn't work, the new trends. in the restaurant business. I kind of try to, adjust the old-fashioned diners and kind of, make a new business model for the new with the changing times. New menu selections.
Yeah, different preferences, and I mean, and that's where I'm trying to, understand. Like, you saw something, and you basically said you want to just add some more value. You want to create some more quality.
Exactly. So, basically, I was ready for a second location, and Mount Vernon, specifically this area, Fleetwood, it always had a diner. It always did great, and there's a strong need for a diner in this area. There's a void in this area. And it was available, and it just worked out like that. And I jumped on the opportunity, and there's a lot of people in the area, and it was a good area to start the diner.
And so let's talk about the midterm, not the midterm elections in Congress. We'll talk about mid-run of what's coming down the line. This area is growing. Down the block, there's a new building going up with 249 units.
Yeah.
There's another building up the block with about 40 new units. So more people, the probability of getting more customers gets only better.
Yeah, and the way I attacked this project was, I was here for the long term. I'm here for 30 years minimum. So what I did was I basically took the building, I refurbished it. I just didn't do a renovation. I refurbished the whole building. I took everything down to the structure and really rebuilt the entire. There was 3 or 4 renovations worth of debris to take out. So we cleaned everything, all new equipment, all new refrigeration, furniture, the whole nine. And I think that's the way to do it, because when you're here for the long term, you don't want to you want to do it the right way. This way, it just sustains the business.
You don't want the surprises. You want to make sure that you knew it has a strong foundation, and now you have a platform to build upon for the future.
Yeah.
And my question to you is, like, as you started to rebuild, what was your experience like just going through the process to get going?
Well, basically, I wanted a free layout that was good to have big parties. It's a flexible layout we created inside. We can have parties of 10, 20. We can have small parties. We have a little private, more of a private area to have luncheons and stuff like that. And that was my goal inside. And then eventually we're gonna incorporate the outside, like a renovation on the outside, to kind of bring it more into the neighborhood, make it more inviting. And that's like phase 2. But
who knows? You may even need an upstairs. I mean, all I know is that there's room to grow, and that's what I'm happy you, as a business person, as an investor, someone that has a long-term vision for growth and sustainability. You're here, and knowing that you have generations of experience building diners, it only makes it even better, because you're going to have a core, filled back in this area that had a void. So as you look ahead, look, the key is Mount Vernon is a market, and we want to make sure that business owners, businesses in general, have a voice, and they know that we as a city are going to do everything we can to make sure we get more customers to come to our community. And that's one of the basic tenets of business. You need customers to survive.
Sure.
So how has the reception been so far since you guys opened?
So far, I think everyone is really excited in the neighborhood. Just because there's another option here. There's, like I said previously, there's a strong void in this area for a diner. Somewhere you can have breakfast, lunch, dinner, talk to somebody, have a business meeting. That type of place. So mostly everyone in this area so far has been really excited just that there's something here.
And that excitement is going to keep building. Don't change that dial. This is Mount Vernon Moving Forward. Welcome back. I'm Mayor Richard Thomas. You're listening to Mount Vernon Moving Forward. We're here every Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. You're listening to 1460 on your AM dial, or worldwide on WVOX.com, or on Facebook at facebook.com Facebook.com/Mayor Richard Thomas. Now, this is a pre-recorded show. We are here on Gramerton Avenue, on Gramerton and Grand. We are at the new Retro 520 Diner. This is the place to come and discover again. That's right. This used to be the location of the old Athena's, but man, has it come back to life under Retro 520. You have a great, experienced owner in Phil DeRaffele, generations of experience of building diners, and now Phil is running them. This is going to be a great long-term journey, as Phil was talking about earlier in the show, that he's looking forward to being here for at least 3 decades. That's a major commitment, and that's a big commitment for Mount Vernon, because it only signifies that our future is bright and it's going to get brighter. And as we get ready to talk to Phil again, I just want to point out that this weekend is the car show in Mount Vernon. The Shift Masters car show is this Sunday. Get out here. I believe the street will be ready and full of great cars starting at about 10, 11 a.m. So come on out and just get ready to have a great day. There's going to be ice cream, iced coffee. There's going to be a whole bunch of other great things going on. Make sure your camera is ready to take some great pictures with some great, clean, classic cars. Now, also going on this weekend, we have a few block parties. We have some pop-up parties, and we have, Mount Vernon just doing its thing. Hopefully everybody's enjoying summer, and just know that you can come here to Retro 520 Diner to get, refilled with some great new energy that's coming through the great menu that we have in front of us. Now, one thing I know is I'm looking now at the back of the menu, and I'm going to turn around and show it to you, because this is just what I'm talking about. Can you see that? You just got, just right off the bat, it just hits you right square between the eyes. Milkshakes, ice cream. I mean, look at that. Look at that presentation. Now, all those out there driving, you're like, what is he talking about? Well, I'm talking about smoothies. I'm talking about the cookie candy shakes. Now, this is like a major weakness. Are those Fruity Pebbles?
Yeah.
You see, look at that. This is just like, if you're on a diet, don't look at the back of the menu, whatever you do. But even if you do, you can test your willpower, but know you're going to lose, because like Fruity Pebbles is like bringing it back. That's like, wow. Candyland, Bonfire. Phil, can you talk to us about, now I know we're here in the morning, but as you can see, everybody, I skip right to dessert. If you could talk to us, let's talk to us about this menu and how you created it, and what led to your structure of having such a appealing offerings for customers.
Sure. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a diner. But my idea with the menu is to have everything, on the menu that you would come to a diner for, but just modernize it and limit some of the items just so everything remains fresh and quality. So basically, I have a full, alcohol menu. We have cocktails. We have craft beers, regular beers, import beers, a full selection of wines.
This is, wait a minute, hold on, everybody. I'm going to give you some names. So under craft beers, Brooklyn Lager, Dogfish, Captain Lawrence, Local, Blue Moon, Montauk Driftwood Ale. Now, we got to connect you with the Mount Vernon Brewery. There's a brewery here in Mount Vernon that specializes in apple cider, and we're going to make sure we get some tastings, because I'm telling you, we have some great local options as well. But man, craft cocktails, one that says "Stay focused." I like that. Scotch.
So basically, this menu is the identical menu that I use in Pleasantville.
Okay.
The Pleasantville, I like to constantly evaluate the menu and improve it based on the area I'm in and so forth. So, this menu was probably 3 years in the making in Pleasantville. I started with this menu because I'm comfortable with it. I thought it would be an easy transition to start with this menu. But this menu is going to change every few months, like you just mentioned. I'm going to maybe use some local beers, or if I'm getting a lot of requests from locals about certain items they want on a menu, it's going on the menu. So I'm always open for suggestions and improving the menu based upon the neighborhood I'm in.
But ladies and gentlemen, look, so under appetizers, you got buffalo wings, boneless or ones with bones. You got the classics of chicken fingers, mozzarella sticks, potato skin, spinach and artichoke dip. And for all those, health people out there that want to work out and come and get, some great nourishment, you got some great options on the menu as well. And for all those people that want a little bit more, heft in their bite, you got half rack of ribs. Like, come on, man. Like, you feeding people.
You got
this
fish
is what I'm talking about.
Fish tacos. About 10 different flavors of buffalo wings.
And as we go on, Philly wait a minute. I almost couldn't say it. That's how shocked I was. A Philly cheesesteak egg roll.
Yeah.
That sounds like a steak dinner.
Yeah, that's a pretty popular item, too.
You see? Ladies and gentlemen, you got to come check out Retro 520 right here at 520 Gramerton Avenue in Mount Vernon. It's on the corner of Gramerton and Grand. It is a place that is grand, and I want to just tell you the phone number in case you want to call to see if the line is too long, and if it is, don't worry about it. Just wait online. The phone number is 914-530-3748. Again, the phone number to Retro 520 is 914-530-3748. Now, wait a minute. I mentioned something about health. You got salads too?
Salads, and they're large salads, a good selection, and anything could be altered to your liking. But we have a nice selection of salads. We actually, on this menu too, we actually incorporated how many calories are in each salad and the dressings if you're calorie counting. So that's a nice thing I think on the menu too.
So, Yucatan chicken, Pleasantville wedge, chef, Waldorf, Cobb, Santa Fe, honey mustard grilled chicken, soups of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, you got, oh my God, signature sandwiches too. This is what I'm talking about. You got the triple decker, the fish fillet, the salad sandwich, hot dog platter. That's popular with my kids. They love hot dogs. But what I can tell you is this. Don't change that dial. You're listening to Mount Vernon moving forward. Really going to place some orders in the kitchen right now. Don't change that dial. Welcome back. I'm Mayor Richard Thomas. You're listening to Mount Vernon moving forward. We are here every Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. You're listening to 1460 on your AM dial or worldwide on WVOX.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/Mayor Richard Thomas. Now, this is a pre-recorded show. We are in the place to be, the new place that just opened up in Mount Vernon. Retro 520 Diner right here on the corner of Gramerton and Grand. Many of you out there listening may remember this location as the old Athena's, but boy, has it come back to life. Phil DeRaffele, the new owner, has taken a long-term look at the future of Mount Vernon and said, this is where I'm going to grow a new experience, something that families going to remember and enjoy for generations. And Phil's going to talk a little bit about not just the menu. We were talking about the menu that's amazing selections of choices of great foods, craft cocktails and beers, great even candy shakes. I mean, like, oh my goodness, this is a diner with just great historic tradition, but more importantly, new vision for service. And before we talk to Phil again about the menu and the offerings, I just want to remind everybody this Sunday is the Shift Masters Auto Show right here on Gramerton between Birch and Grand, and you're going to have a grand experience if you come out. There's going to be hundreds of cars, hundreds of people, hundreds of smiles, thousands of new memories. This is something that you want to see. It's a place to be. We're going to have a lot of activities, music, fun. Everybody, please come on out and enjoy yourself this Sunday right here on Gramerton and Grand for the Shift Masters annual auto show. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful experience. And plus, you can come into Retro 520 and get some great food, some great iced coffee, some great coffee. I mean, I'm telling you, this coffee is amazing. Whatever this is, but I'm telling you right now, I'm drinking it, I'm loving it, and in case you all want to find Retro 520, it's in the name, 520 Gramerton, and the phone number is 914-530-3748. Call, make sure you get over here to get a main plate. So, Phil, now I'm getting hungry looking at the menu. I was looking at burgers, and I'm looking at burgers now, but you have the Reuben sandwich on this page, on the next page.
Yeah, you got Reubens. You have, you have your Greek gyros, your chicken souvlaki's, your typical diner stuff, and then we put a twist on it. Like we have a Louisiana souvlaki, which is like a buffalo Cajun style chicken with a remoulade sauce. And then as you move on, you have burgers. We have paninis. We have wraps. Anything could be customized to your liking.
But the burgers, ladies and gentlemen, the burgers, you gotta know that if you're ready to eat, you gotta come to Retro 520 Diner because they are ready to serve you. It's just everything, the paninis and wraps, turkey time, Chipotle chicken, the cheeseburger, the classic, the Jack, the Cowboy?
Cowboy. And the Cali burger is probably our best seller.
Is that right?
It has avocado and bacon and sauteed onions on it.
And tell me about the Cali burger.
That was actually featured last year in the Westchester magazine for one of the top burgers in Westchester.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, the top is coming to the top. Mount Vernon is that shining city on the hill, and boy, are you going to be smiling once you get one of these Cali burgers in your stomach. I know you're out there driving saying, oh, man, I'm hungry, or you're out there watching. Yeah, just come on down to Retro 520 and get your slice of some great service and some great succulent food because I'm telling you, I'm looking at this, and you got pressed paninis and then all your sides from – man, it's just the options are you think that you're almost in the Cheesecake Factory, right, where the menu is like a book. This is like a book, but it's much better because it's more authentic. It's not, this corporatized brand. No offense to Cheesecake Factory, but, man, Retro 520, you have soul, you have style, and you have the owner right here, someone that, grew up in the area. And if it's not my understanding, it's one of your wife grew up in Mount Vernon?
My wife grew up in Mount Vernon, yes.
See? Look at that. Everybody, we need people to keep coming back to the city. And before we finish the menu, I just want to mention, main plates. We got a couple more pages. Seafood?
Seafood. You have a kids menu in there. We have a thrifty section, which is smaller portions of our dinner plates if you're not, if you don't want to eat too much. We have a full bakery. Display cases with whatever we have on special, and then also we just started incorporating specials, in-house specials. When you come visit us, we have different things we're running now.
And of course the classic anytime breakfast. You can create your own.
Create your own omelet. We have 4 types of pancakes.
Wow. Can you tell everybody about the pancakes? Because
pancakes, we have your buttermilk pancakes. We have whole wheat pancakes. We have sweet potato pancakes. And then we have a red velvet pancake, which is pretty popular at my other location. And it has a special sauce that it goes with, like a frosting sauce, which is pretty popular.
Lou, how are you making out over there? So I think I'm going to have to get the sweet potato pancakes and the red velvet pancakes to just make sure that, they get a good, a good gathering on the plate, and then they have a good disappearing. Because I'm telling you right now, pancakes, everybody, pancakes are just a way of life. But a little bit of Nutella on the side, or a little bit of, anyway, getting hungry. But nonetheless, make sure you bring that hunger, everybody, to Retro 520 Diner right here on the corner of Gramerton and Grand in Mount Vernon, a place that is literally helping Mount Vernon rise again. And knowing that more people are coming to the areas means more customers, more business, and it's a long-term relationship that we're looking to just sustain. And as Phil was saying, his wife grew up in Mount Vernon, and he chose this place as his second location, and it's a great place to be. And what I can tell you is we're excited as a city to have you here and open up. And before we go to break, I just want to look back and look ahead. We don't want you to change that dial because we're going to talk about the future of Mount Vernon when you get back. Don't change that dial. Listen to Mount Vernon Moving Forward. Welcome back. I'm Mayor Richard Thomas. You're listening to Mount Vernon Moving Forward. We are here every Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. You're listening to 1460 on your AM dial or worldwide on WVOX.com or on Facebook Live at facebook.com/Mayor Richard Thomas. Now, this is a pre-recorded show. We are at Retro 520 Diner, which just opened up. An amazing place. A new place, a new birth, a place where everybody often knew it as the old Athena's, but now they know it as Retro 520, the place to be with an amazing menu. The owner, Phil DeRaffele, someone with generations of experience of building diners, but now running them. This is a phenomenal breakthrough for this area that needed a diner, and pretty soon we hope to get a supermarket over here in this area, which is also needed. But, look, it takes people like you, Phil, people that have, confidence in the market, people that see the future is bright and see that, there is something to gain, and that gain is value and creating quality for the neighborhood, but also creating jobs. I mean, before this place was, struggling, but now you gave it a whole new look, took it all the way down to the foundation, made it stronger, and now, you added some modern techniques, some new flair, and a new focus on service.
Sure.
If you can tell us a little bit about, what you think the secret to success is, because I know there are a lot of people out there just asking the question, what is that secret to success?
Well, besides a good location, what you could control is you have to have great attentive service, and cater to your customers' needs. Nice fresh, nice portions, nice fresh food. Not any. That's the main thing. You got to keep the place clean. I like to keep mix things up a little bit, where you might come in every few weeks and see something different, a new special. Maybe I did something to upgrade the place, and constantly trying to adjust and improve the business, and in turn your customers appreciate that, I think.
Well, that's one of the key things, is just making sure you have a strong relationship that will only get stronger. And one of the key things is, my focus as mayor is to make sure that we as a city get to know our businesses, and the businesses see that we're going to demonstrate that we're going to support them in every way we can. We want to bring in more business to the city. We want to see more people working, and we also want the city to be the same. Like you said, when you came in here, you found that you had to, clean up. You had to, go back down to the foundation, make it a little bit stronger, and then, add the new components to it. And I think that's where we are as a city. We have to fix broken sewers. We have to do so many things to kind of catch up to other places. But I do believe that by the time we're finished making some strategic improvements, we're going to leapfrog so many other communities that are, struggling with their own economic challenges. And again, Mount Vernon, and I'll, Phil, you're a business person. We as a city thankfully have very little debt. We have a surplus of resources in some respects, and I think the best asset we have is location. And I'll say it the same way you said it: location, location, location. You can't beat it. Mount Vernon is 18 minutes to Midtown Manhattan, 20 minutes by car to the airports, and we have an industrial port in the city where you can bring raw materials and items in, and you should know that we are looking to place a ferry from Mount Vernon to City Island. And that way we can help create a whole new experience of people going to and from City Island and create ecotourism. But you should know, we're not just thinking about the Hudson River and the Long Island Sound. We also have plans for the Bronx River, which is a couple blocks away, right down a block at the Fleetwood train station. We're looking to connect the train station to the Bronx River Park. Ideas include putting a horse stable down there, a new soccer field, a place where people can do great exercises and experience walking with strollers and families. And in this way, we can connect the Bronx River Park, which is going through a major renovation based on state aid. We want to make sure that those people that enjoy the Bronx River going through the Bronx Zoo come all the way up to Mount Vernon, where they can get off on their bike or their stroller and walk right up to Fleetwood, Retro 520 Diner, get some great nourishment, and make their way all the way back down the path. I mean, this is what we are seeking to do, to get reconnected as a city to our great assets. And it starts with building around our businesses. So one of the focuses, I can tell you, Phil, is that this is a journey. It's a marathon, and we look forward to going on a long-term run with you. And I think you should know that we want the information. If the sidewalk needs to be fixed, the streets need to be painted, the lights need to be changed, or whatever it is, we want to know, because we want to make it better. we're never going to be satisfied, but guess what? We're always going to work hard and remain determined to make it better. And if as a business person, someone that has, went through a very hard process, as you mentioned, you've been working 17-hour days to, get this place going. Any lessons you can impart to people that are listening, any wisdom you can share with someone out there that says, I want to start a business, or I want to, come to Retro 520 and run a conversation, a book club, or create a conversation around something important to the community. Anything you can share with people out there listening?
Yeah, if anyone would like to come by, I'm here all the time. I'm more than happy to take suggestions and criticism also from the neighborhood.
Constructive.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm here all the time. And if you can't make it in, we're shortly going to be offering delivery service, free delivery to the Mount Vernon and surrounding areas, as an added feature to the restaurant.
Working with Uber Eats possibly, or
Definitely.
other types of app-based services. But this is where, again, something traditional, working with something modern to make something happen. And that's
Exactly.
what Mount Vernon is. We make things happen. And that's, the vision that we are seeking to affect. And knowing that, another new business opened up is a great testament to not only the location, but, the signals that Mount Vernon is sending out that we're cleaning up our act, we're seeking to rebuild, we're seeking to rise, and we're seeking to just simply move forward. So as these new units start coming to life and coming online, I believe that you're going to see not just more people from the neighborhood come, but you're going to see more people from outside of town, as you pointed out, come to Mount Vernon. And just before we close, I want to mention to you and to everyone out there listening, Mount Vernon residents spend $396 million outside of Mount Vernon. They spend about $39 million on restaurants outside of Mount Vernon. So knowing that we have a new offering here with Retro 520 only makes it, more likely that Mount Vernon residents are going to patronize Mount Vernon businesses. So as you and everyone out there listening, make sure you shop Mount Vernon, you eat in Mount Vernon, and know that Mount Vernon is going to rise because of your support. Phil, thanks for allowing us to talk about what you've done here, and we look forward to creating a much better future with you.
And thanks for having me.
You got it. You've been listening to Mount Vernon Moving Forward.